one of the best products in this skin graft market. Any questions for this one? This one is the most interesting part for today's class. I definitely need to provide more details information about this one. So Yanas published the paper in 1982. The finalists is around in, and I think it's 90 to 91, they obtained the FDA for clinical use. Any question? So we call the bilayer. Top layer is a thin silicone film. Bottom layer is collagen scaffold. So that's for the skin project, skin graft. Any question? So you will see like, so at that time, his PhD students right now is in a professor at Illinois, UIUC. And analogs of ECM based on the collagen. So here's a collagen fibers. That's from bovine tendon. And they choose the gag from shark. So I also ask questions to him. So why he choose like a shark? And so I got information. They tried a lot for these skin products from shark. Shark-derived gag is one of the best, but of course it's very expensive. And they make ECM, a skin ECM, and the USC like that's from 100 around 100 micrometer size. Beautiful, very pretty uniform structure. So that's one's like we call the procedure is. I would like to say freeze drying method. You get a liquid solution, polymer solution, and put it to prepare the solution. Then go to minus 40 degrees. Then form a lot of ice crystals, then go to the room temperature again, back. So the ice crystal will be quickly sublimed and forms lots of uniform pore size. And with pore size around 100 million. Of course, like the cooling rate, we need to make a lot, they make a lot of study and they choose a suitable cooling rate and the warm up rate to get the good pore size. Any question for this one? So generates like USC, Young's modules of scaffold actings around like this one, and the measure of so they want like use this one to block the contraction. So that's the next one. If a scar tissue from mechanical way, scar tissue mechanical ways USC, the stress with aligned direction. So that's why they grow this way, they grow this way, So you will see the stress field is aligned. However, if we put the scaffold, late the stress field in 3 directions. So we break the scar tissue formed stress field. We want latent stress could be X, Y, Z, three direction uniform, like like the for examples like this one direction. So let the collagen fiber with the stress in three directions, so they can uniformly distributed, not specific along the one direction. So that's the that's the Professor Yanas. He figured out this model and designed the sponge, collagen sponge. So that's the collagen sponge. The purpose is like to disrupt scar tissue or minimize the scar tissue from forming. Any question? So scaffold is like a solid state regulator of cell function, block the contraction, scar formation during wound healing, and use without cell seeding leads to regulation of dermis or stroma. We know that epidermis, cells from one ages regenerate of a new dermis to give a new skin. So here's like, if you want to develop a product, we generate like, we only consider is a product. Bio materials, scaffold, as we sell cells, regulators, like the BMP's OP1, like you right in your homework, cell, stem cell. So from R&D ways, research and develop all the company ways. This one, is the best. This one, from the cost, because cell regulator, if you penetrate into this one, long time. Huge investment. Okay, this one is more economical way. So of course you need a huge money, but if you compare the cell and the regulators, that's like it's still very economic. And use this way for first. And if okay, then we go to the market. But this one is a huge and high risk. Okay. So biomaterials only scaffold is preference for my understanding. Yeah, from my experience, like you can talk to venture capitalist, venture capital, or some other investment. So they will be more happy for this one, device design. And this one still can regenerate as an artificial tissue organ. But if for cells and regulate, the story totally different. High risk, long-term, huge investment needed. Okay, any question about this one? R&D, research development. Yeah, so that's like from a lot of ways, like they will suggest you go, if you go this way, from biomaterials scaffold as as the first product to development. So that's about the skin patients, like we already introduced. And meanwhile, short movie always provided, like now in the Zoom, much better for me to share the movies. And the assignment is here. You will take a look at this one. Homework one. And I will build a homework too for your homework. Any questions so far? So that's the integral. That's the access like for the Dr. Janus, the products, and based on this technology, products, yeah, they have this company Integral. Take a look at this one. The USC is about your skin. Take a look at. Yeah, the dermal replacement layer is a porous matrix made of cross-linked bovine tendon collagen and glycosaminoglycan. That's already we put in the slides introduced. This is a sugar kind of polymer structure from nature. And that's the second layer. And we already in the beginning, we saw the double layer. So the outside is for the PDMS silicone gel. So that's the silicone layer. So the purpose is like to protect the underlayer or the second layer from water loss and infection or bacteria, for the bacterial insulation. So that's like another one. So what is still, sorry. So this one is like we would like use a porosity, as we said, and the degradation rate to control, and to control the cell migration. And of course, like we need to think about the top layer to provide the immediate water coverage. So for the moisture loss, and you see like so use collagen. One of the ways like always like can minimize the inflammatory response. That's the staples. Staples is like a suture, yeah. Okay, that's the one. Let's move to the second part. It's about the bone related.
So the dermis and the epidermis are replaced in two separate steps.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's pretty good. And meanwhile, if you take a look at it's good. Yeah, from the color, from the other ways like CT or some other things, like we can peel off the first layer. Then we can put like epidermal cell layer, epidermal cell. Yeah, for the regeneration. Oh, it's clear? Hello?
Yeah, it's clear. Thanks.
Okay, sure. Yeah, perfect. And so we already introduced the skin, the soft one. Right now we move to a little bit harder one is orthopedics. Orthopedics generally at the beginning is like they want a permanent implant device. So permanent means like in the body all life, and that's like sometimes specific for the joints, and sometimes for skeleton is useful. And meanwhile, yeah, you don't need to think about the degradation products and the waste up like ceramic materials or yeah, stainless steel. That's pretty good ways for the hip knee replacement. And for joint, yes, specifically we say is a permanent replacement. So one is like yeah, osteoarthritis. So for this one, is a major disease, and we know like yeah, so like yeah, what kind of options free treated. So it definitely control your yeah your weight, control your diet, and yeah, late like yeah, I said like vitamin glucosamine need uptake or and some other things like medication, pain relief, and some like yeah interventional is like the joint realignment, joint fusion. So that's one's about like yeah, finally it's a joint replacement. That's the ways. And so mechanism of joint replacement of prosthesis is like just a simple ball, a socket joints, like a bearing kind of structure, and the bone remover to accommodate the components of the device. I will show you some movies you can yeah, get a clear pictures about what is yeah joint replacement. And the knees is a bit that's why it's very challenging. Yeah. So the bone sliding rotation more complicated, and the ligaments also very challenging. Yeah, lots of aligned fibers they can combine it together and form a very strong, a tough tissue. Meanwhile, they can attach the bones. So a lot of things like why this one is so tough. Another one's why they always can have a tough adhesion to the bone tissue because the ligament tendon they are next to the bone, for example. Yeah. So how they attach, that's always like a scientific research, how to research a topic. A soft, a hard, how they make a strong interface. So some materials choice for the joint replacement, like we need to think about yeah, the different control the wear resistance on the yeah relative movement surface. So think about the yeah friction, biology or biocompatibility, and the natures like there always some synovial fluid in the joint and the joint chamber. So that's like the replication, elastic hydrodynamic, replications like synovial fluid, and low friction, low wear rates, and the metal plastic that's different design. And for polymer, yeah, we use like polytetrafluoroethylene. The monomer is like this one. Fluorine, and PTFE. And ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. Yeah, this one is a huge, very big number. So you will see like some coefficients still 0.8. You will see polymer is always a little bit low. Okay, PTFE on PTFE still getting for the friction and it's minimized. But if you take a look at the human artificial articular joints, it's in nature, it's 0.01. That's like, so nature, some things like we definitely can exactly make the same development. And titanium on polyethylene. So that's why the polyethylene always popular, but the polymer has some, itself has some issues. So low strength, stiffness, if compared to metal ceramic, they are low. So that's why they will form a lot of particle because of the wear resistance, and therefore some lots of issues here. And for examples like localized inflammatory response, and this particle can when moved when like the drop down from the materials, the products, they will go to the brain to heart, cause some other circulation system issue. Any questions for this one? So for the signature tissue bone loss, that's like we already introduced, like why younger people are not suitable for hip knee replacement, because in the next slides we have several pictures I can show, like because the following body materials inserted to the patient's self, that is the fully body response will happens. And in the bone, the osteoclast cells will be activated. Later, the surrounding tissue will be removed by immune response or inflammatory response to eliminate release of metal from the surface of the metal combination. So a lot of things, mechanism attach of the prosthesis to bone. So I stop here. But just like a short movie, you can take a look at. Just let me show which one is a short movie. It's only 2 minutes.
Your hip consists of two main parts that fit together like a ball and socket: the femoral head at the top of the leg and the acetabulum in your pelvis. A total hip replacement is usually done when severe damage from arthritis or injury has made it difficult to perform daily activities. During the procedure, the femoral head and acetabulum are replaced with artificial components called prostheses. An artificial hip prosthesis consists of a cup called the acetabular component and a metal stem called the femoral component. Your surgeon will begin by making an incision overlying your hip, separating the muscles and ligaments to expose the joint capsule. After incising the capsule, your surgeon will dislocate the femoral head from the acetabulum. He or she will remove any damaged cartilage or bone in the acetabulum, reshape the acetabular socket, and secure the acetabular prosthesis in place using special cement or screws. Turning next to the femur, your surgeon will remove the femoral head, shape the remaining femur to fit the prosthetic stem, and secure the femoral component using cement or other techniques. Once both components are firmly in place, your surgeon will slide the prosthetic femoral head into its acetabular counterpart, test the movement of your new hip joint, and verify that it is properly positioned with an X-ray. Your surgeon will then close the joint capsule, repair the muscles, place a drain in your hip to remove excess fluid.
Yeah, that's today's lecture. So if any questions, I will still in classroom for a few more minutes. You can ask me, yeah. And if no questions, yeah, you can, yeah, the class is over. Let me also take a look at some students who have questions, yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Gabriel, yeah. So otherwise now it should be okay, yeah. Thanks. Any question?
You give us a more detailed for assignment 2, right? On
No,
written.
that's on the slides. Yeah, a little bit more. So that's like yeah, we can discuss. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. In the right now, like the Monday, we have appointment, right? Yeah, meeting.
Oh,
Yeah. Definitely, you can ask me, and also I will explain the paper to you. Yeah, for that paper.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah.
Are you going to be uploading a document that basically breaks down everything that we need to do again, like you did for homework 1?
Oh yeah. Right now, so I will upload. Yeah. For the, I think